These sugar cookies have been a family favorite for years. I love sugar cookies with frosting, but I don't always feel like the mess. These cookies, you just scoop, you roll them in your hands, you bake, they spread into perfect circles, no rolling pin, no cookie cutters, and no floury mess. With their beautiful smooth top, they make the perfect canvas for your favorite frosting. I'm excited to share. Let's get busy. Hoswart sent me a mixer. Thank you, Hoswart. This is a delightful stand mixer to work with. I will be highlighting features about this. If you are in the market for a mixer, I'd highly encourage you to check this out. Let's prep our dairy ingredients. We need our dairy to be at cool room temperature. So baker friends, pay attention. Normal room temperature is 68 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 to 22 Celsius. Cool room temperature is 60 to 65 Fahrenheit, 15 to 18 Celsius. We want this at cool room temperature. We need 3/4 cup of unsalted butter. You'll cube it, that's 170 grams. I am checking the temperature right now. It's been sitting out and my house is a little bit warm. So I'm gonna just see what we have here. It's in the 72 range. And what we need is for this to be cool enough that it will cut into our dry ingredients. We're doing the reverse creaming method. When it's this warm, it will melt into the flour and make a yucky paste and ruin our cookies. So we need this to be cool enough to cut into the dry ingredients. So I will be placing this in the refrigerator in a moment. Now in a large mixing cup, we will be adding 1/3 cup of buttermilk. This is 80 milliliters. You need 2 large eggs. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, that's 10 milliliters. Give this a whisk. And set this aside. Next, we'll combine our dry ingredients. If you're hand mixing, grab a large bowl. I, of course, will be using this stand mixer. We'll be sifting our dry ingredients right into our mixing bowl. First, you need 3 cups of bleached flour. This is all-purpose flour. That's 375 grams. We are using bleached flour because it goes through a process that alters the starches and it allows them to absorb more liquid faster, which lends itself to a tender cookie. So here's my secret weapon for a tender, moist cookie, cornstarch. This is 1 tablespoon, 8 grams. Cornstarch softens the flour's proteins and it keeps the crumb delicate. And more importantly, it keeps your cookies soft and tender for days. Then we have our leaveners, 1½ teaspoons of baking powder, 6 grams. And we're putting in 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. That's like 1.5 grams. We want baking soda. It will react with the buttermilk, but we don't want too much. Then it causes a rapid rise and fall, and then the cookie top cracks. So just a tiny bit. And then 1 teaspoon of fine sea salt, 6 grams. We're all about nice, fine ingredients here. They dissolve much quicker. Once your dry ingredients are in the bowl, give them a good whisk to make sure they are all combined evenly. We want that leavener, the salt, the cornstarch, all of it to be evenly distributed through the flour. Now the last thing we're adding in is granulated sugar. This is extra fine sugar. Look at the texture of this. It is like the finest. It's just beautiful stuff. The granules they almost feel silky. It's so soft and fine. This dissolves much easier in the cookie mixture. So we're using 1¼ cups, extra fine granulated sugar. That's 250 grams. The butter completely wraps around both the flour proteins and the sugar crystals. I'm going to give this a good whisk. The fat barrier intentionally delays the sugar from melting too quickly in the oven. That keeps our dough structurally thick so it spreads into a perfect circle with a beautiful, soft, level dome instead of collapsing flat. It's time to do our reverse creaming method. And that is simply cutting butter into the dry ingredients. Standard creaming is creaming the sugar and the butter together till it's light and fluffy. This is the reverse creaming. We'll be putting our butter directly into our mixture here. I have verified the temperature. As long as it's in that 60 to 65 range, you are good to go. I'm using the paddle attachment. We will be mixing this on low speed for 2 to 3 minutes until the butter is cut evenly into the flour. You're looking for a damp, sandy texture. I'll show you a really neat feature that this mixer has. It has a really nice low speed. This has 11 speeds. So whenever you're mixing dry ingredients, and a lot of times they fly out of the bowl, or even liquid, this allows you to get it started without getting too crazy messy. Now I will increase the speed. This has a built-in timer, super nice. I'm going to set it for 2 minutes and increase the speed to low, medium, and let the butter just cut into the flour. This actually just automatically shuts off at the end of the 2-minute timer, which is really nice. I don't have to use an extra timer. Okay, you don't want to overmix it and blend it together. You just want it a nice fine. There's a good example. There's a giant chunk of butter right there. This is what you don't want in your mixture. So it's not ready yet, but I just wanted to check and see how it was doing in here. It's almost done though. I'm putting this back down, and I'll show you another nice feature. This maintains the timer, so just start it back up again. So I want to show you the texture you're looking for. This just feels like a damp sand. That's my best description. You should see no lumps. If you find any large butter chunks, then you might need to mix it just a little more. You should have no chunks in there. Now it's time to add our buttermilk mixture in. I did just verify it is in the same temperature range, that the cool room temperature, that's 60 to 65. Put your mixer on low speed, pour your buttermilk mixture in, and as soon as you see the mixture getting smooth, then shut the mixer off. Do not overmix at this point. I have 2 other things to say that I really enjoy about this mixer. It has a light so you can see in your bowl. And what's really nice is this paddle attachment actually scrapes the bowl. I haven't scraped the bowl one time. This is actually doing a really good job. I appreciate that. Our dough is done, and it is time to give it a chill. Now put your dough into a smaller bowl. You can put it in the bowl you mixed in if you want, into the fridge, but this is kind of large to stick in my refrigerator, so I transfer it to another bowl. The dough is sticky right now, and it needs to chill for 1 hour. Cover it with plastic wrap so it doesn't dry out. Set a timer for 1 hour. Our dough has chilled for 1 hour. Now we'll scoop onto a baking sheet lined with parchment paper so that it doesn't stick. This will make close to 3 dozen, depending how you scoop. This is a number 40 scoop. Line them up as close as you can to each other without them touching. We'll cover this with plastic wrap, and they'll go back into the fridge for another light chill once we get this done. Part of the beauty of these cookies is they come out in perfect circles, but in order to get there, these need to chill one more time. Then we'll roll them between the palm of our hands and get nice, smooth spheres. So these need to chill now for anywhere from 15 minutes to 30 minutes. And I just want to share, once we do that, this is a nice make-ahead option. You can roll them into those nice smooth balls, and then you can chill them in your refrigerator for 2 or 3 days in an airtight container. Bake them at any point when you want them, or you can actually freeze them and bake them from a frozen state as well. I'm going to get these into the refrigerator. While our dough is chilling, it's the perfect time to make our frosting. You can use your favorite. I'm using my favorite, which is classic American buttercream. Let me share 3 tips with you right up front. If you don't want grainy frosting, make sure that you start with soft butter. Make sure you cream your butter first, and make sure you sift your powdered sugar. First, you need 1 cup of unsalted butter. This is either 16 tablespoons, 226 grams, and you want it to be soft. Make sure you use a rich, high-quality butter. The butter is the star of the show, so you want to make sure that it is smooth and creamy and has a nice fat content. European style has about 85% fat and 15% water, so it's just a nicer quality butter, and that gives you a nicer quality buttercream. We're using a paddle attachment. You want to use the paddle as opposed to the whisk because a whisk will enter a lot of air into it. That messes with your structure. When you're getting ready to spread, you'll have lots of little air pockets if you use the whisk. So use the paddle attachment. Mix this for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes till it's light and fluffy. The butter is creamed, and this is the texture you should be looking for. Now it's time to add our first cup of sugar in. I have 4 cups of powdered sugar here that's sifted. That's 480 grams. We'll be adding this 1 cup at a time. This is one of my favorite parts. It has that stir feature, that really low speed. Normally I have powdered sugar spraying everywhere when I turn the mixer on, and this doesn't happen with this. It's super nice. Now that I have it in there kind of mixed around some, I'm going to turn it up to medium speed and let it mix for a couple of minutes. Okay, it's time to add the 3rd cup of powdered sugar. And along with that, we're adding 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, that's 30 milliliters. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, that's 5 ml. Then I have a ½ teaspoon of salt, that's 3 grams. This is kosher salt, so it has larger granules. I do this because I like to taste the salt. And then I add 1 more pinch. The salt helps you taste the sweet, and I really love that balance in there. Let's put the rest of our powdered sugar in. The buttercream is done. I tasted it. It's super yummy. It is ready to go when the cookies are done. I'm adding coloring to mine. You can use it white. You can add any color you want. I'm using pink. This is AmeriColor. It's gel food coloring, and I'm putting 1 drop in for now. Our pretty pink frosting is all done. Just transferring it into a bowl until we're ready to use it. I'm covering this for now till we're ready for it so that it doesn't dry out. We are going to roll these dough balls into nice, smooth, little round spheres. They're easy to work with now. They're much less sticky, so just between the palms of your hands, roll them into a ball. These are all done. They're ready to go in the oven. Put them back in the refrigerator. Make sure that they're covered. You don't want them to dry out. And just let them rest in the refrigerator until your oven is preheated. Turn it to 375. That is 190 Celsius. Okay, our oven is preheated. Space the cookies out, allowing them room to spread. While you're baking, just keep these in the refrigerator. It's best to have the butter just as solid and cold as possible when it goes into the oven. These need to bake anywhere from 9 to 11 minutes. Okay. Check to see how these look. Oh, they're perfect. So you're looking for the edges to be set. You'll see just a slight golden hue, not brown, but just golden hue. The tops will still be pale, and they should look just soft. These are perfectly done. Allow these cookies just to sit undisturbed on this hot pan for 5 minutes. They'll get that carryover baking or cooking, and then we'll transfer them to a wire rack. I'll see you here in a little bit. I'm going to finish up all the baking, and then we'll put some frosting on our cookies. Well, our cookies are done. They are beautiful. I just want to show you one. As I said, they are perfectly soft and smooth, the perfect canvas for our frosting. And they are pillowy soft and tender. Just look at this. Never dry. I love these cookies so much. So I have our lovely bowl of buttercream here. I'm going to frost a few, and then I will take a bite of one. This is my favorite part. I get to take a bite of these amazing cookies. Look at that, so soft and so tender. Oh my goodness, these are beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love these cookies so much. I think they could be one of your new favorites. You've got to try these. And we do cookies here at the Daily Bake because I love cookies. So you need to check out my cookie playlist. I have peanut butter, I have kolaczki, macarons, oatmeal, chocolate drop. I even have a no-bake recipe. So I've said my whole life I'm 2 cookies away from happiness. So check out that playlist, pick which one makes you happy, and I will bake with you in the next video.